2000 to 2019 in film. First decade, Harry Potter. Second decade, Marvel. Oh, you're looking for more detail? Oh, alright then. Welcome to Film History. For those of you wondering why I'm only looking at the last 20 years of film history, well, this is actually part 6, the 6th lecture in a series for the film minor for in Holland International Media and Entertainment Management. And this is, our way during the corona crisis of giving that information to our students. But welcome one and all if you want to know about the last 20 years of film history. As always, just a very short look at the broader historical context that this part of film history takes place in. 2000 to 2019, there are several tragedies that have unfolded over the past years. Not all of those are even on screen right now, but just to give some more attention to the positive things. In 2001, here in the Netherlands, we had the first legal same-sex marriage. Yay, and I hope that this continues to go on, and there is still some battles to be won where it comes to equality. In 2002, we started paying with the euro. In 2012, the year that London hosted the Olympic Games, Queen Elizabeth II of the UK celebrated her Diamond Jubilee, 60 years on the throne. So by now, actually, it's early 2020, she's close to 70 years on the throne. Wow. And this brings us to 2019, so up to speed almost, because 2020 has only been going for 3 months now, so this is a very, very up-to-date look at cinema. Over the last 10, 20 years, social media have risen, and it would be too simple to boil these problems down to a hashtag, but you know these problems because of a hashtag. One problem, of course, hashtag #MeToo. Another problem, hashtag Oscars so white. In both cases, stars, celebrities, and less famous people took to Twitter, took to all kinds of social media to express that there was a problem. One of these very serious problems is Me Too. That refers, of course, to sexual abuse, sexual harassment in the film industry. A very famous example is Harvey Weinstein, who has been sentenced to jail at the time that I'm filming this video. He's just been sentenced. So hopefully this now changes, that there is no more sexual harassment, there is no more sexual abuse. Another problem, another hashtag, Oscars so white. There are several film prizes, and the Oscars are probably the most famous ones. The problem there was that the committees, the people who vote for the Oscars, in that case the Academy, the American Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, were only voting for white people to be awarded stuff. Black people, people of all colors, people of all sexualities, of all genders, of all identities, make films, work in film, do fantastic work. They should be recognized in film prizes, of course. So that's why we have the hashtag Oscars so white. Later, it improved. There was a little bit more diversity. Actually, this year, a Korean film won Best Film. That's unique, that's new, never happened before. But then, it's not as if all prizes are now equally distributed among white, black people, male, female even. So there are many other inequalities going on with the Oscars as well. If you could just stop watching Stranger Things for a second, thank you. You may have noticed that recently we are riding a wave of nostalgia in film and on TV. Stranger Things is one big love letter to the films of the 1980s, but it's not the only example of nostalgia on TV and in cinema. You remember this? Ghostbusters? Well, a few years ago we had female Ghostbusters. And people had a problem with that. Oh, to those people I want to say, go to bed and don't come out too much. And of course, it's not just the 1980s that we're nostalgic for. We also have Jurassic Park, which is now Jurassic World. So Hollywood keeps giving us remakes and reboots and soft reboots and sequels to films from long ago. And hey, that's fine. Apparently there's a market for it. So I'm not here to critique nostalgia, but I am here to point out, if you didn't realize yet, that there is such a thing as a nostalgia wave in today's cinema. Over the past 20 years, filmmaking has changed on a technological level too. There have been many advances. I can list all of them, but let's not, because this is a short video, but some of the important ones. We are seeing more and more 3D films. Of course, you need your glasses, which is kind of annoying for me because I already have glasses and I have to put them over my glasses. So it's a nice technological idea. It adds something. It also makes the prices of the tickets higher, so they can earn more from you. Another change that has existed for a longer while, but that has really been used a lot in the early 2000s, is green screen. Used to be blue screen, but apparently green screen works better because this is a technique where you stand as actors stand before a blue screen or a green screen, and then digitally in the computer you can take that screen away. You can take that color because it's a very unusual color. You can take it away. You can put another background in there. That has been used a lot in the early 2000s. In the 2010s, I feel like not so much. This might not be true. I don't have any numbers, but my perception of it is that over the last 10 years, many filmmakers have gone back to more traditional sets, more traditional trickery. More digital trickery, but of the amazing kind. Peter Jackson and Andy Serkis really worked hard on Gollum for the Lord of the Rings trilogy, 2001, 2, and 3. So Andy Serkis put on a mocap suit, a motion capture suit, kind of like a pajama. So you look like a tit on set with your silly black and white and grey pajamas with many dots all over them, but that's so the computer can scan your movement. And then, much like the green screen, blue screen, they take you out, and in your place, they put Gollum, they put Davy Jones, they put whatever CGI makeup, computer-generated imagery, makeup they have for you. So, in a way, you can see motion capture, you can see that part of CGI as a very modern way of makeup. One final bit of technological advancement for now. I wonder how you're watching this. Are you watching on your TV? Are you watching on your computer? On your laptop? Are you maybe even watching on your phone? Our screens are getting smaller, just like our cameras. That brings us neatly to shifting viewing practices. The most important one, of course, is that everything is going digital these days. So you're no longer buying videos, you're no longer buying DVDs or Blu-rays. You've got everything streaming on your TV. Whether that's Netflix, Amazon Prime, or Disney Plus, since very recently, everything is going digital now. In some cases, you will always have access to what is on there. Disney Plus promises to put their library up and keep the library up. Netflix has a shifting roster of what's available at any given time. While big studios have always published material to coincide with the release of big films, these days, over the past 20 years, it's become more and more fashionable to do transmedia storytelling experiences. So to give the audience something extra. If you've seen the film Pirates of the Caribbean, then you can now also go to the theme parks where you can have Jack Sparrow in the ride, or if that's not enough for you, buy the comic book, which also tells you about the further adventures of Captain Jack Sparrow, or, if you're very young or just so inclined, get your little Lego collection going with Captain Jack Sparrow in miniature. So much fun. So in all these different media, you are getting Pirates of the Caribbean sold to you. And of course, the way I'm pronouncing it now, the way I'm phrasing it now, makes it sound like a shameless cash grab. And it is. But it's also a fun way to create a larger, broader, deeper story for the fans. So to round things up, I'm addressing my In Holland students again. This week we would like you to watch My Neighbor Totoro from 1988. Which is a very good year. Am I from 1988? I might be. And watch, please, the 2014 film by Wes Anderson, The Grand Budapest Hotel. So now we're up to speed. We are back in 2020, and we'll see where film history is going to go from now. It's certainly had an interesting start this decade, what with the coronavirus and big movies like the new James Bond being pushed back. Disney is pushing back their release dates for films. We'll see what happens from here. I wish you all good health and good luck. What is that? I may need to lay off the rum.